Welcome to the Dojotalkpodcast. Please remove them shoes before entry.
Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. We're on episode number 77. I am back with my co-host Antaku. What's going on, man?
A lot. First off, R.I.P. Craig Mack and Stephen Hawking.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Cause that happened. I'm trying to think of where to start. It's been 2 weeks.
Right. This has been a lot has gone on in the world since the last time we recorded. Yeah, big RP just to add on. Big RP to Craig Mack. Remember for like a while we went without hearing him, and then he came back on that special delivery remix, and it was awesome.
I learned a little bit about him after he died. Apparently, there's an episode of Yo MTV Raps that comes out like right after his first album came out. Like this is around the time it went gold. What was that Project Funk the World? And he was there with Diddy. And so apparently his second album was done. The first album was gold already, and they had recorded the second album. But Diddy was upset the album only went gold and didn't go like platinum. So he froze Mac's second album and didn't get released for like 3 years.
Wow.
So basically after Biggie died.
But because I thought I read this somewhere. Didn't his first one eventually go platinum?
No. Flavor in Your Ear went platinum.
Okay, all right. I knew he's in Bad Boys history books, like because he was like their.
He was the first guy they signed.
Yeah, he was the very first guy they signed.
But
and he was like the first one who ever had a platinum record over there.
But the funny thing is, like, Diddy's on the show hyping up Craig Mack's like follow-up album, and you can see Craig Mack just in the back side-eyeing him because he knows that the album got froze, and they're not gonna drop it.
Diddy, oh Diddy. Diddy, oh Diddy. But yeah, that's the entertainment business for you. I've always had like a bad vibe from Diddy. Like I didn't really like him back in the day either. Even though like I'm not gonna lie, he did a lot of songs that I liked. But like it was just something about him I always was kind of like, I don't know about this guy, man. He's dancing in people's videos too much.
He's just shady as fuck.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason like a lot of people think he's responsible for Tupac dying.
Oh boy. But yeah, R.I.P. to Craig Mack. Few guys, you know, go back and listen to, you know, Flavor in Your Ear. Definitely listen to his verse on Special Delivery Remix. That opening line is like one of my favorite lines ever. Yeah, R.I.P. Craig Mack. Man, what else has happened since we recorded?
So wrestling fans, you'll get a kick out of this. What do you know about the Fabulous Moolah?
I've heard the name rings a bell, but I can't put a face to it.
So she was like the women's champion on and off for like 20, 30 years. Back before like the WWE had a real women's division. They would just kind of like call her up to defend her title every once in a while. Like the WWE.
Let me Google her. I know who this is. Fabulous Moolah.
But the WWE announced a women's battle royale tournament like they have for Andre the Giant at WrestleMania for the ladies. So Moolah was not a good person, not at all. She was basically a sex trafficker.
Wow.
Yeah. So like anytime there was new women coming up, they were sent to go train with like Moolah on the ranch. She would basically drug them up and like whore them out to promoters. There's a story of her sending like this 16-year-old to go get her pictures taken by this creepy old man in his like 40s, some wrestling promoter in the South, naked, mind you. So like she was not like, and these stories are widely known by all wrestling fans. So,
Yeah, I see. I googled her name and like literally the whole first page is articles of people saying like why she shouldn't be on it.
yeah. So the WWE knows that people know about this. Apparently did not give a fuck. So they just stuck with the name. But enough fans reached out to Snickers, who got the WWE to back down from calling it the Fabulous Moolah Invitational Tournament or whatever. So, you know, if you're gonna direct your outrage at anybody, direct it at the advertisers.
Yeah. You hit the pockets, you get the job done.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember her though. I vaguely remember her. But yeah, they got her out of here. So
That was a funny story for me.
Jesus.
WWE continues to be carny sport in the most blatant ways possible.
I didn't even realize it like back when I used to watch it, but like they did a lot of like just stuff by today's standards that like there's no way they could have gotten away with a lot of the stuff they used to do now.
Like the in-ring stuff or the backstage stuff? Because
Everything.
Yeah.
like everything. A lot of that. The Godfather. There's no way you could do that in 2018.
I mean, he still shows up from time to time with like some like 27-year-old on his arm. Like there was a skit with him and like Mark Henry from like last year, where they're literally just talking in the back.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Godfather. Vince dropped the N-bomb on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Cena?
I think you showed me that.
Yeah, I think it was John Cena. Dude, like, do you remember when Sergeant Slaughter was an Iranian sympathizer?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was like him and Hulk Hogan fighting over like America's honor or some shit.
Jesus Christ.
They had the terrorist dude from the early 2000s.
What?
who was actually like an Italian man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince is wild. Vince is wild.
Wrestling is caricatures. Like everybody in it is not a real person; they're a caricature. But like Vince's version of caricatures are like, I don't know, like 1950s cartoon.
Right. Yeah, it's like those racist Disney cartoons that people forget existed. But yeah, ooh, good old wrestling. Yeah, I don't really know where to start either. Like even outside of MMA, I feel like just there's been a lot going on in the world. Shoot, Infinity Wars just broke Black Panther's pre-sale record in 6 hours.
I'm going to say that's probably in large part because of Black Panther.
Probably. Definitely helps.
I mean, since we've been gone, Black Panther's crossed the $1 billion threshold.
Right.
It's been out as of today for like a month and 2 days. It's been out for like 30 days.
And I've seen people say like they've been going to theaters and it's like the shows are still sold out.
It was #1 this past weekend, $28 million.
Man. Killing them. Marvel is balling right now.
Disney is just making money hand over fist.
Right. It is. Jesus Christ. But I'm good. I'm definitely going to see Infinity Wars. I haven't got my tickets yet. They went on sale Friday for anybody who's listening. If you guys don't know, they did go on sale on Friday. I'll be getting mine this Friday when I get paid.
See, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time. I'm going to go Monday in the morning, but I'm not going to go when the kids are out from school.
Good choice. See, luckily the theater that I go to, it's not like a popular theater. So, like, even when new movies come out, I don't have to, like, it's not really crowded.
Yeah.
Like, I go to the theater that nobody cares about.
See, I don't have that luxury because this is suburbia.
So you're already by the
Yeah.
you're already by the popular one.
If in any direction from where I'm standing right now, there are 1 million people, and they know where all the movie theaters are.
Oh. Yeah, see, I'm lucky. I got a few options. But I guess you know what? I'm gonna give this shout out now. I was gonna save this till the end, but I want to do this now because I gotta promote my peoples. So anybody, if you're in the Atlantic City area on Saturday, March 24th, and you got your evening free, you're trying to figure out something to do, CFFC will be holding an MMA event at the Borgata Hotel and Spa.
Yep.
In Atlantic City. Doors open at 5, first bell at 6. I'm not sure how much the tickets are, but you can get them at cagetix.com. That's CAGETIX.com and purchase tickets. So this will be an MMA event. Friend of mine, Scott Noble, will be fighting Solomon Renford. I'm not sure where his fight is at on the card, but yeah, man, if you want to enjoy some MMA, you're in Atlantic City, go see that card. Go root for Scott Noble. I still got to buy my homie's shirt. He sent me a PayPal link. I just need to cough up my $20 so I can buy his shirt. But that's going down at the Borgata Hotel and Spa, Saturday, March 24th. So, and I think also he told me I think this event will be streaming online.
Yeah. GoFightLive.tv, I think.
Is it okay? Yeah, because he told me he would send me the link when he figured out what it was. But yeah, man, I will definitely be watching this. Unfortunately, I'll be working that day, so I won't be able to go. But yeah, MMA in Atlantic City. Support my homie.
Kurt Pellegrino's promotion, I think. I'm not
Really?
sure. Yeah, it was at one point. I'm not sure if it still is.
But shout out to CFFC. Shout out to Scott Noble. We in there. So I guess we'll just go on to notes and news in the MMA and fight world that have happened these last 2 weeks. Let me scroll up on my little notepad. So a few fights, big ones going down. It's been officially announced. Yoel Romero and Robert Whittaker. I don't have what card that's going to be on, but that fight is officially announced now, so that will be a thing. Quick note: Did you listen to? I know you're not the biggest Rogan fan, but did you listen to him and Rogan's podcast?
Nope.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. He has a very his I guess you could just say upbringing, really just wild upbringing, and he talked about a lot the Cuban national team and how you train with a lot of the guys that you're gonna end up fighting because you all just live together in this one place.
Oh yeah.
It was wild. It's a really good podcast to listen to. If you're a Romero fan, it's definitely give you a better appreciation of how much work he had to put in before he got to where he is now. And you get to see his first professional fight in which he had no training. He completely washed the dude that he fought.
Is it the one where he ankle picked the dude and just beat the crap out of him?
He slammed him a couple times. He sent that dude airborne a couple times. And that guy did not want any of those problems. But yeah, it was a pretty good podcast. But that fight is official. Andre Arlovsky and Tai Tuivasa will also be going down. Sorry for a lot of these fights that don't have what events they're on, but just know that they're official.
That's 225.
225?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Darren Till is going to headline UFC Liverpool. He does not have an opponent yet. I've seen a lot of names being thrown out there. People have been calling him out. I've seen Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, who we'll get to later. I saw Jorge Masvidal's name thrown out there, so we'll see who ends up getting that match. But we do know officially that Till will be headlining. Other fights, Mackenzie Dern will be coming back at UFC 224 against Amanda Bobby Cooper. Dominic Reyes will be fighting Jared Cannonier at UFC Fight Night 129. Shout outs to Reyes. Somebody at 205 worth keeping an eye on. Also on that same card, Enrique Briones versus Frankie Saenz. John Lineker and Brian Kelleher. That should be an awesome fight. Last UFC note. Not a fight announcement, but Marco Polo Reyes has been informed of a potential USADA violation, whatever that is. But
It's always weird. Like I can't remember their explanation for it, but like that they warn people for potential violations. Like you can't just test it first and see like what's going on.
I don't know if it's so he doesn't accept a fight in the meantime or like what or.
That's what I was wondering. So if you get flagged for like a potential, is it like you're just kind of frozen?
I think that's it.
That's kind of
fucked.
Yeah, USADA is just, yeah, it's weird. I get what USADA is trying to do, but the execution of it is just kind of, I don't know. It seems very disorganized. But either way, he's flagged of something he potentially did. We'll figure out whatever that means at a later date. Over in one championship, Angela Lee, who I'm assuming, is fully recovered from the car crash that she got in, and she will be rematching Mai Yamaguchi. And May, I don't have the exact date, but it's going down in May. That should be an awesome fight. I would argue that first match is probably one of my favorite fights ever that I've ever watched. Definitely a fight of the year candidate. I think that was in 2016.
Yes.
So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, definitely give that fight a watch. That was a really, really awesome fight. So definitely looking forward to the rematch. And boxing, Vasyl Lomachenko versus Jorge Linares is going down May 12th. I think that's in Madison Square Garden. And these last two fights, I don't even know which one to start. All right, let's start with Bellator.
I mean, are they both in Bellator?
Oh yeah, I guess they would be. All right, first fight. Benson Henderson.
Hey.
Roger Huerta.
Yeah. Hey. Roger Huerta's on a 2-fight winning streak.
That's true.
Benson Henderson arguably hasn't won a fight, or should not have won a fight since coming to Bellator.
This is also true.
I'm just saying.
I had some. This fight is going down April 6th. In Budapest, Hungary.
This is a late replacement fight, by the way. This is because what's his face got hurt. That the kid. The guy, Gallagher.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, this fight,
Are you saying you're not hyped? That's the vibe I'm getting.
This is one of those fights that I'm gonna watch. I don't want to watch it. But I'm a big Bendo fan, so just via being a fan and feeling the obligation to support, I'm gonna watch this fight. And no shade to Roger Huerta. It's not like I dislike him or anything, but I'm a really big Bendo fan. His career as of late has not been going as well as one would hope. I just have this fear in the back of my head that somehow Roger Huerta is just going to blast him, and I'm going to leave with my feelings hurt. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this fight, other than I'm just going to watch it with one eye probably closed and just pray for the best. How are you feeling about this matchup?
I mean, it's gonna happen. It doesn't really matter how I feel about it.
mean, while it's not 100% clear, Huerta seems to be in a bad place in his life. Or at least a transitional place where he's sleeping on his strength and conditioning coach's couch. So yeah, I'm happy he gets the opportunity. He's betting it all on this one. There's a one fight deal. I mean, I don't. Benson Henderson tends to fight down enough to his opponent where like I can see him maybe outworking Bendo if he can't if Benson just comes in and just does whatever, which is kind of what he's done his last like 4 fights. But at the same time, Bendo's losing to like a Pitbull and Michael Chandler and Andrei Koreshkov, and I don't think Huerta has any of those qualities left in him that make him that special.
Yeah.
Athletically, anyway. No. I mean, Benson has to get a real win in the Bellator eventually, right?
Right. Like a solid, definitive, like no questions asked. You definitely won that fight.
Exactly. So maybe this is it.
This optimistic thinking. Maybe this could be the start. You know, this could be the win that rebuilds some confidence, gets him back in the right place. But I don't know.
I thought you were about to say maybe this gets Roger Huerta like back into like the UFC.
I mean, who knows, man? At this in this day and age in MMA, I'm not surprised by anything. If Huerta somehow like flatlined Bendo, and he popped up on a UFC card like a month later, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, his last one was Hader Hassan, but that was by DQ.
Yeah, a win is a win. We'll see how that fight goes down. I got till April to get my mind right to watch that. And this last fight, which isn't official,
Yes.
but I guess there are rumblings in the air. Actually, I'll let you break this one since I didn't even know until you mentioned it to me that this was even potentially a thing that was going to happen.
Old Man Fight Club. We're targeting Vanderlei Silva, Rampage Jackson 4, and I'm here for this. Like, look, okay. So MMA is down. There is no question that the sport is currently boom and bust. We're currently in the bust period. Bellator cannot contend with the UFC with going after prospects, building them up, and making them into TV draws. So you know what you do? You make the fights. You make the circus fights.
Yeah.
And
You make the fights that people want to see.
10 years
maybe
ago.
they don't want to see, but they'll watch them anyway.
These are fights people wanted to see 10 years ago, and Scott Coker can be the man who was like, I brought you these finally. And let's be real. Nobody does not want to see Rampage versus Vanderlei 4. We all want to see it. Even if you won't admit it, you want to see it. And if these men are going to continue to fight, it might as well be against each other.
I do live for a good train wreck. I'm all about chaos and train wrecks. And
I mean, is this really any worse than Fedor versus Frank Mir? And that one is that one's for a shot at the title.
Right.
This one's just for fun.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that Vanderlei wants to do it in Brazil. I think they might want to do the fight in Brazil, but he wants to do it in a soccer stadium, which would be hilarious.
I mean, hey, if Coker and company can pull that off, I guess I'm for it.
I mean, guys, everybody out there, if you can't tune in for Primus Chandler, McKee Lawrence, or like Caldwell versus Higo, you can't complain when they make these types of fights.
This is this is the result of when you don't support, when you don't give them your viewership to like the legit contenders and
Right?
all that good
We
stuff.
can
Yeah,
we
we
can head
get.
over to Bloody Elbow and MMA fighting and MMA Junkie and like we'll see which one gets gets more clicks. Which one grabs the headlines? Rampage
Uh,
Silva 4 or Caldwell versus Higo.
I guess I guess at least with Rampage Silva, regardless of how I feel about old men killing each other, you know this fight is gonna end in violence. It's gonna be old man violence,
I
but
mean,
it's
it could
violence nonetheless.
it just could be old men hugging by the end of it because they're so tired.
Eh,
They're just using each other to prop each other up while they're winging punches.
I'll take that. Like I'll take that gladly. But between those two at this age, if all I get is just some brawl with no technique and people just throwing, I'll take that at this point. Not even mad. What's sad is if this fight happens,
It will.
it's gonna headline, and the co-main is gonna be between two people who are probably like really legit.
I mean,
And
I said
then
they just go full on freak show and put who was it? Hold on. Gracie versus Valid. Ismail. Ismail? Ismail. Because they're beefing in the news recently. So I say make that fight.
make it just, I would say, well, their pay-per-views haven't been doing well. I was gonna say just do a whole pay-per-view of just freak fights, like have Gracie and Shamrock run it back.
Gracie and Sakuraba.
Liddell, Tito.
Like put Sakuraba against like Kron. Kron Gracie.
Has he fought lately? Where's Kron been? I feel like I've heard him a little bit.
Doing jujitsu things on the beach. I don't know.
Oh, that was another piece of news I forgot. They just isn't Gary Tonin fighting?
Oh right, he's fighting. Is he fighting again the very next one card?
Yeah, he got signed recently. I don't know who he's fighting, but I know he's coming up sometime pretty soon.
I want to say this weekend.
Which will definitely be interesting to see how his first MMA fight goes.
Gary, yeah, he's fighting this weekend in the co-main event.
Oh man,
one Iron Will.
All right, first fight in one, and you get the co-main. We'll see though. Like dude's jiu-jitsu is pretty legit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see how that goes. But yeah, Bellator. I guess at this point, 2018. If we're not gonna seriously build up prospects, let's just make fun fights. That
I mean, yeah. Fun is a very specific word.
We'll just say we'll just say circus. They're spectacles.
No one has fun at the circus, but everyone has fun at the circus, man.
But before we get started on the UFC card, just real quick, this podcast can be listened to on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, iTunes. If you're on iTunes, please rate and subscribe. Leave a review. Send emails to dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. And real quick, shout outs to some of the listeners, cities that I see on the stats. Holding number 1, Mountain View, California. Coming in at number 2, Charlestown, Indiana. Coming at number 3, we forgive me for probably butchering your city. Is this Ilford, UK?
What was it?
Ilford, UK.
Ilford.
Like LLFORD. I don't know how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. You guys in UK. Shout outs to you guys. You're all awesome. Coming in at number 4, we got Barsac, France. And at number 5, Boardman, Oregon. Number 6, Cairo, Egypt. And rounding out number 7, Centerville, Maryland. So shout outs to all of those cities. Appreciate you guys for listening.
Would appreciate if
every
time you say Egypt, I feel bad because I call them like the feeder league for like ONE FC. Because that like back when one championship got started, that's where they all the like B-sides from. This woman is a national kickboxing champion in Egypt.
Hey, they're listening to you.
They know it's true.
Oh man. But shout outs to you guys for listening. Send in some questions, man. I want to get some questions on this show. If you're listening, dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. Send in a question that we can answer and make fun of you for. Or just a question in general. We might not make fun of you. Or we might. I don't know.
I'll try my damnedest.
But yeah, shout out to you guys for listening. So I guess we'll just get on to it. UFC Fight Night 127. Werdum versus Volkov went down yesterday in London. This went down on UFC Fight Pass. This is the first time not the first time. Actually, you know what? I think this is the first UFC event I've watched on Fight Pass since I've had it.
I think this is the first one they're running in a minute.
Yeah.
It's like Poland? I don't know.
Because, yeah, I didn't get Fight Pass until, like, last month. But, you know what? It was actually pretty awesome watching this card on Fight Pass. Because I didn't have to worry about my stream freezing. I did enjoy the fact that it started early, even though I missed some of the prelims. Didn't get to catch them in real time. So I was at work. But, like, main card started at 5. The card ended at a very reasonable time. Feel like the event went on pretty smooth. So, shout out to UFC Fight Pass. You guys have been taking $9.99 out of my pocket a month, and I haven't had the urge to cancel yet. So, shout outs to y'all. But we'll just run this one from the top. Alexander Volkov, Fabricio Werdum, main event. I'll say off top, thank God Volkov won this fight. I was ecstatic that Volkov won this fight, to be completely honest. I just wanted to see a new face that was under 40 years old. I was a fan of Volkov in Bellator, and to be honest, he's done a lot better in the UFC than I thought he would.
Same.
Yeah, like he's definitely exceeded expectations. I mean, like he was pretty good in Bellator, but like they were. He was okay. He was alright.
Do you remember his fight with Richard Hale for the Bellator heavyweight title?
There are some fights I tend to forget.
That was. I mean, it was god awful, but it was still in like the 5th worst Bellator championship fight ever.
He's had some performances and some losses that I feel like were just kind of like but I was still like excited when the UFC signed him just because he was a new heavyweight. But I mean, since he's been in the UFC, he has not lost a fight yet. And I mean, and to his credit, I mean, for the competition that's available, they've been giving him like slightly better competition each time, and he's been
handling business.
He's been winning. And whether the fights are sloppy or he might not start off winning, he finds a way to close these fights out, and that's kind of what he did here. I was when I rewatched this fight, it was I was almost confused about Werdum because I mean basically the way the fight went kind of the way I thought it would, but the ending did surprise me a bit. Werdum, of course, shooting a lot of single legs, getting takedowns, trying to work the jiu-jitsu. I thought Volkov did a really good job of, albeit he spent a lot of this fight on the ground, but he managed to get himself out of bad situations, get himself back to the feet a few times. Like he avoided enough danger. He did get, I think, pretty tired out from the grappling, but he was keeping himself out of like imminent danger most of the fight. Even though I thought he was starting to fall behind, but he was doing good on the feet. That uppercut seemed to be money. I want to say it was the 3rd round where they had like a quick flurry, and he just busted Werdum's eye. Like he just busted this man's eye up. Like, it was bad. His eye looked like it was not too far from closing. And then Fabricio started, like, pulling guard and going for Volkov's legs. And I don't know, maybe it was just me. I thought Werdum was, I mean, not comfortably winning, but, like, I thought as long as he kept working for those takedowns, like, even though he wasn't doing a ton of damage, he was at least controlling, that he could have won, like, probably like a pretty sloppy decision, but a decision nonetheless. And that last flurry just confused me because I don't know if maybe Volkov just did, maybe he was surprised at how good Volkov was just defending on the ground and able to, like, avoid just being submitted. Because it just seemed like that last flurry that Werdum did, that's a flurry that I would see from somebody who's, like, losing a fight and they know that they just need to go all out because, you know, round's about to end, I'm losing, I need to pull a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
It just almost seemed like he threw himself in unnecessary danger that he didn't need to. And for his troubles, he got cracked with, if I ate a right or left, he got cracked with the uppercut, and then he got punched out and until he just couldn't get up anymore. But yeah, that last flurry just kind of confused me. I mean, good on Volkov. He in the brief moments that Volkov would have on the feet, he was able to capitalize and get a lot of good strikes off. I just thought Werdum would just continue to just try to take him down and or at least, I don't know, wear him out against the cage, just neutralize the striking, which he was doing some of the fight. But that last flurry, I was just like, I don't get why he just kind of went haywire like that. Like, you didn't need to throw yourself in that kind of danger in the fight that you probably could have won. But I'm still happy it went the way it went. I wanted desperately for Volkov to win this fight. He capitalized on an opportunity that was given to him. He cracked Werdum, got him out of there, gets the win. He's now, 5-0 in the UFC. And I would imagine after this probably sets himself up for a pretty big fight after beating the former champ. So great on Volkov for hanging around in the fight, even when the fight wasn't going his way. But I don't know. I just feel like I just feel like the last flurry was questionable. Like, you didn't need to do that, and you ended up paying for it. But good performance by Volkov. I was impressed that he got out of adversity and, you know, found his way to finish the fight, which I thought was really important.
So what you were saying about Werdum just kind of throwing with Volkov at the end there, dude looked way rounder than he did, like, even 6 months ago when he was submitting, what the fuck, dude?
Wires.
Harrison, the other dude. Because he took another fight on short notice against, like, a low-level opponent.
Tabora.
Tabora, there we go. Was that it?
Yep.
Right. But, yeah, no, was this fight, like, it doesn't seem like not a real fight.
It was very heavyweightish.
Like, even beyond that, it was just kind of surreal. Like, there were parts where they were moving, like, slowly. It felt like it was choreographed. But yeah, like, he looked way round. Werdum looked way rounder than he normally does. Like, there's a dude who seemingly over, like, the past couple of years has prided himself of coming in, like, in really good shape, being able to go 25 minutes. Yeah, he's easily the best grappler at heavyweight ever. We haven't seen much of that in terms of, like, the fights where he's forced to go long distances where he can't just, like, take somebody's back and submit them. And he almost did a couple times here. He did a nice little back take to in the second round where he literally just dropped underneath him and kicked out his legs and just swung around to Volkov's back. But dude looked tired.
He did.
Like, even, like, after that first takedown in the first round, like, he managed to get the trip on the second one. But, like, that was kind of more of a testament to Volkov not being so damn tall, where he has to reach all the way down to block the single. Like Werdum kind of just like casually strolled into the single, and then like took his time to wrap his leg or wrap the leg from to trip the leg from the inside. Um, like this was equal parts like Volkov being a better striker or more damaging striker, and like I think Doom's just really old. He just finally feels it.
Yeah, because he was gassed he was gassed after the first in the first round, which he clearly won.
Yeah, and he could have won the second and third, or at least the second. But like the man was tired, which is not something we're used to seeing out of Werdum at this, which is really weird because like he's 40, going up against guys who are like 28, 30, 32, and just casually beating them for 25 minutes.
All right.
But
actually, yeah, now just think about it, like this doesn't even look like the same guy who like got Walt Harris out of there like with the quickness.
Yeah.
Like he looked a bit sluggish. Like it was in the third round, like not too long before the finish. There was a moment where they were both on the ground. Volkov is in Werdum's guard, and they're literally just holding hands and just looking at each other. Volkov like gazed into his eyes. It was really awkward and weird. And like Volkov looks at the ref. I guess he's just looking for the stand up. It was such a weird moment in that fight.
And Volkov, like, there's a dude who went like those 3 rounds with Struve were like really fast paced, and he did tire. I don't think he really slowed down much. Like, but here, like, I'm not sure if he was like afraid of the takedown or like you said, the grappling really just tired him out. But there were just parts of this fight where he just looked like he was on autopilot.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised he even had the energy to finish that flurry, because I thought he was just gonna let his hands loose a lot more. But yeah, I guess he probably was afraid of the takedown because Werdum was getting those single legs.
And that nice little what are those called? Like the baseball sweep or baseball bat sweep, or like he just went under his leg and got him down.
Yeah, he did. Especially like I think it was for like the second and third. He did those a couple times.
Yeah, and then that's what ended up with him. That's how he ended up back on the feet in the 4th round. Volkov finally had enough of it, just stood up out of it.
But yeah, this was a heavyweight fight.
So this does make you feel more or less confident about Volkov's chances against Stipe.
I mean,
because I don't think he stops that takedown.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know. Volkov, like I said, in the UFC, he's been a weird case because like he's overperformed, but at the same time, I don't know how to judge where's his ceiling? Like, who's the guy that's gonna just get him out of here?
Right.
Because yeah, like some fights, like you said, in the Struve fight, real competitive fight, but a fight where he was just in go mode the entire time. And then you get this fight, and it's like he looks like somebody completely different. But I guess the good thing I'll take from this performance, albeit like it wasn't his best outing, I always look at guys who can get out of bad situations and fights that they're losing and find a way to win. So I mean, he's got that going for him. But yeah, against a guy like Stipe, I think if Stipe gets you down, he's not gonna be so forgiving. Because I mean, at least with Werdum, he's taking you down. He's most likely just trying to search for a limb or choke you out. If Stipe gets on top of you, he's just gonna pound your face in.
I mean, Werdum had the nice little shoot box style ground and pound going, where he was just choking Volkov with the one hand and then punching him with the other, which I didn't realize was illegal. It should be legal. It's hilarious.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. The sport has no more rules.
Exactly.
Nobody will. The rules are just everywhere. Yeah, I don't know if Volkov beats Stipe. Like, I don't even know how Volkov does against like like a Derek Lewis or I don't
think
know.
he could beat Derek Lewis.
I think he could, but I don't know if like he would. Like it's weird. Like he overperformed, but sometimes I'm still not sure. But either way, the man is undefeated.
3 years ago, this man was getting beaten by Czech Congo.
Czech Congo.
And Tony Johnson Jr.
Right. That's why it's like, I don't know, man. Since he got signed to the UFC, man, he must have just flicked the switch or something.
What's with these tall, like rangy European dudes and Russian dudes coming in and just like laying waste to the tops of 205 and heavyweight? It's really weird. It's upsetting. This is like when the Klitschko's like took over.
It's working. Whatever he's doing, it's working. Yeah, I'm really interested to see where he goes next. I mean, they've steadily been giving him better competition, so yeah, I'm wondering what he gets next. I'm not ready to see him get a title shot yet. I think I would like to see one more, maybe. But then, I don't know, heavyweight is such slim pickings that, like you said, you win a couple, you're almost like forced to get a title
right.
shot.
Do you keep him on like reserve in case like DC gets hurt?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Because, I mean, if you look at the top of heavyweight, you got Ngannou, who,
Yeah.
still coming off the loss.
Who's probably
Overeem's
who's probably gonna face Lewis pretty soon.
Right.
So
yeah, he'll probably beat Lewis because Lewis definitely wants that fight. Blades and Overeem are locked up, and Werdum was 3. He just beat him. I don't think anyone cares to see Mark Hunt and Volkov. So yeah, I wouldn't mind if they just kind of keep him in the wing. If that fight falls apart, you can plug him in there. I mean, I really there's really nobody in the top 10 for him to like fight because they're all either coming off of losses or, in the case of Werdum, like he beat him already. So it's like, do you give him Arvlosky?
Arvlosky is fighting Tuivasa. So.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Volkov is kind of in this weird spot where he might just, unless he just takes a fight from somebody just ranked lower than him, just for the sake of like keeping himself busy. Yeah, I don't know who you give him to. You might just want to keep him in the wing just in case. Unless he's willing to be like an Ngannou comeback fight. Which, if I'm him, I don't know if you want to do that, but we'll see. Either way, whatever his next fight.
Why is Junior Albini number 12?
I don't know. It's the power of the diaper. The power of the diaper keeps you in high favor. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Volkov. But either way, man, I'm happy. Just regardless of how his performances have went.
Can you stop?
He's undefeated.
That's sorry, I was talking with dog.
Very good. He's undefeated. New blood at heavyweight, which is a great thing. I can't emphasize that enough. Anybody new at heavyweight who can make some waves, I'm all for, especially if they're on the younger side. So shout out to Volkov, man. You got Werdum out of there. Got through some adversity. Got a finish, which is always impressive. So shout outs to Volkov, man. Good. Not the greatest main event fight, but ended in emphatic fashion, and gave us some new blood to potentially look forward to in a future title shot, maybe sometime in the near future. So shout outs to Volkov. Co-main event, Jan Blachowicz, if I'm saying that right, Jimmy Manuwa. This is a rematch. It was weird. I don't remember the first fight.
It's nothing to remember.
All right.
Just Manuwa won the fight. It's like a torn LCL or something, and it was literally just him marching down Blachowicz. It was a lot like this fight actually, where like he was marching down Blachowicz, but Blachowicz wasn't doing anything. So like Manuwa was just winning by virtue of marching him down and like occasionally landing a big punch.
Well, yeah, this fight went kind of similar with the marching down, but his marching down did not work as well as it did in that first fight. I was really impressed with Jan in this fight. Manuel was a scary dude. It's a guy who, when he throws a punch, your life is in imminent danger. Jan did a really good job, I thought, of just like keeping Manuel at the end of that jab, being in like the perfect range to where like he can counter and get a shot off, and then when Manuel throws back, he's just like not there, or he's just out of distance. And then the times where like Manuel would tag him, he would like clinch on the clinch on the fence. I think at one point he did get a takedown. It was really interesting to see like when they would throw combinations, like Jan just seemed to be a bit quicker to the punch. His combination seemed to be cleaner. The uppercut I feel like the uppercut is like a recurring theme in this card. His uppercut was money. He he dropped Manuel in the first, I think. He caught him with a really nice flurry in the first. I thought Jan just did a really good job. Like I said, he was sticking that jab out constantly, catching Manuel with the jab. Manuel had moments like he did land a really good head kick. I think that was it was the second or third round.
Second.
But yeah, the really good head kick. But Jan recovered from that. I just thought he fought like just a really smart fight. Like he managed to not get in too much danger. I mean, he did definitely. You fighting Manuel, so you're gonna eat a few hard shots. But he did a good job of, while he was getting marched down, he was still getting off offense, and like he was clearly winning the fight. Like he was really quick to the punch. Like I said, in the times when they had the combination exchanges, he was definitely, I thought, getting the better of them. You could tell via Manuel's face, which was pretty bloodied up. I was really impressed with Jan in this fight. He did a really good job. He did a really good job. I really liked what I saw. And I mean, and side note, I guess on him, it wasn't too. I'm gonna say I was surprised that he won. I didn't think it would look this good, but at the same time, it's almost not surprising, because if you remember in the Gus fight, albeit he lost that fight, he was tagging Gus a few times. He was
beating the crap out of Gus on the feet.
Yeah, he was giving Gus some work. So I feel like he brought a lot of that to this fight, and it definitely worked for him. So shout outs to Jan, man. This is a really impressive performance.
Yeah, this is like the first light heavyweight fight in a long time that hasn't had Gus, DC, or Jones in it. That feels like a light heavyweight fight between two top fighters, like top 10 fighters.
Right.
Like this is obviously the best version of Blachowicz we've ever seen. Which is weird because when he got to the UFC, he was basically like a grappling jiu-jitsu guy who couldn't submit people. Like he wasn't a particularly good boxer. We didn't find out he had a great switch kick until he knocked out Ilir Latifi with it. What is this, like a 3-fight winning streak for him now?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's moving on up.
He, like you said, he did a great job of like reading Manuel. That's the thing. Like Manuel only fights at like one speed, and it doesn't matter. Like the old baseball analogy, it doesn't matter if you throw 100 miles an hour. If it's the only thing you show, people are going to time it and hit it. And it's the same thing in fighting. Like Manuel doesn't have a jab. He doesn't throw anything off speed. He doesn't really change rhythms very much. Like he'll walk you down. He'll throw the left hook. He'll throw the right hand, or or the head kick. They actually did end up landing, but it wasn't enough for him to put him away. And the thing is, Manuel did the best with what he had. Like he realized that
French sensation Tom Duquesnoy has
whenever Blachowicz was circling out, he would circle out to hit Manuel's right. So what he started to do is he would show the left hook and throw the overhand right, knowing that Blachowicz would circle out that in the direction of the overhand right and would actually was actually leaning back a bit. Like he would take that step back and then throw his head back. But it wasn't enough for it wasn't enough for him to land anything solid on. Just like beautiful work with the uppercut, like really just like every time. Well, not every time, but like I want to say the sequence that dropped him was off an uppercut, or am I confusing that with the Volkov fight?
No, there was an uppercut in there.
Yeah,
it was definitely an uppercut in there,
and it like just really good reading on like because that would happen whenever Mano would crouch or get caught over his feet throwing that hook. So he would throw the hook. Violet would just come underneath with the uppercut. It was really like clean stuff. He's a really clean boxer. It's off the back foot, which is really surprising. I don't think he's like. He's probably knocking on the door for a title shot. But like I don't know if he has what it takes to be champion, but like he is a solid top 5-ish light heavyweight.
Is it time to feed him the Glover?
I mean, he could probably beat Glover. Like in all honesty, like the Glover Tejero's boxing is basically deteriorated, and is basically just like a wrestling machine. Who, from what I remember, kind of besides Cannonier, he like his best wrestling is done when you kick at him. So I could see Vlahovic taking a decision, even knocking out Glover, because Glover seems to be like Chinny these days. Like a strong gust of wind could knock him over.
I'm down for that fight. I feel like that's the passing of the torch. Take out the old man. As much as I love Glover, but yeah, that was a really awesome performance from Jan. 3 in a row, which at light heavyweight pretty much means like title shot, or you're close. You're in the conversation at least. Yeah, what is top 5 at light heavyweight looking like nowadays?
It's Gus, Vulcan, Glover, Manoa, and Ilir Latifi.
He fought Latifi already.
Yeah, he
right?
knocked him out. Body kick.
Okay. I don't know. Do him and hold on. Didn't he fight Vulcan? Or has he not? Has he fought Ozdemir already?
No, I don't think. At least not in the UFC. I don't know if they fought in like some regional show in KSW or something.
I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at that fight. Like I said, I mean, 205 is slim pickings. You know, we get on a win streak, you just kind of thrust it up there. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he got that fight. But we'll see how that goes. But either way, very 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 impressive performance from Jan. Guess we'll move on to the next fight. Tom Duquesnoy, Terrion Ware. I felt bad for Terrion, man. Like, I didn't even realize it until this fight. But, like, the way they've done his matchmaking, they just give him all of the, like, top prospects. And, I mean, to his credit, he holds his own against them. But it's like, man, he doesn't get any easy outings. Like, they've been giving him just, like, the top young guys, and he's just got to go in there and try to make it work. Yeah. So they give him Tom Duquesnoy. I was really looking forward to this fight, though, because I knew these would be two guys who would stand, who would just throw. I was actually kind of surprised this fight went to decision. I thought one of these two dudes was just going to finish each other. But got 3 rounds of just them kind of just kind of going at it. I really like Duquesnoy's, like, combinations and how he would end a lot of his sequences with that leg kick. That seemed to be a reoccurring theme. I thought Terrion did a good job of, like, just kind of pressuring Duquesnoy. Like, he was constantly in his face, walking him down, even while he was getting hit. I thought he did good earlier in the fight. I think even towards the latter, with body shots that I thought kind of looked like they were kind of paying dividends towards, like, the 3rd round. yeah, man, just two dudes who were just really going back and forth. I thought Duquesnoy would get a finish in this because it seemed like he was landing a lot. I don't know if Ware just has a really good chin or
He's never been knocked out.
Yeah, like he ate some shots and like it didn't even seem like he was really phased. Like,
Do you remember
he was just kind of
the Ware fight with Luke Sanders, where like Sanders just beat the crap out of him for 5 rounds and
right, and he just he just survived.
the man is tough.
Yeah, man, this dude, and that's why like I feel bad that he lost because like I want to see him fight again. I don't want to see him get released or cut because like he gets like the toughest matchups, and he just seems to fall short. And it's like he makes these competitive fights. Like this fight was really competitive. Like I said, as much as Duquesnoy was throwing combinations, he was getting off that leg kick a lot. As much as Duquesnoy was doing that, I mean Ware was equally in his face with pressure. Pretty sure he landed some uppercuts in his fight. Like I said, I feel like uppercuts were like a reoccurring theme in this card. But yeah, Duquesnoy just he edged out the decision. Really, really competitive fight. Lived up to what I thought it would be, even though, like I said, I thought it would have ended in a finish. But they ended up going all 3. But still, highly competitive. If you like striking, this will be a fun fight for you to watch. Two guys just kind of throwing. I do wonder though with this, and it's not that when Duquesnoy first came over to the UFC, I didn't think he would be champ or anything. I feel like he'll be a guy he's gonna consistently put on fun fights, and he'll be the guy that when he comes on the card, you're gonna get violence. But I was trying to just like judge his ceiling based off of this fight, but I'm not sure like where it is yet.
Like to me, it kind of just looks like Duquesnoy really needs to be like the more like he needs some sort of advantage to like win his fights, like an athletic advantage or something like that, which he had here, but he kind of needs the other guy to will. Like that's what happened with Cody Stamann. Like he beat Cody Stamann up for like a round or 2, but Stamann never went away. I did, and by the time it was over, like he ends up losing a split decision. Up.
Yep. So.
And while Ware doesn't have the athleticism or the wrestling game or like the just straight up physicality of Stamann, he is an incredibly durable dude who will continue the fight for 3 rounds no matter what you put in front of him. So when Ware refused to back down, he just the openings in Duquesnoy's game that are pretty what's the word? Noticeable, like obvious, where he was able to exploit those even more. So I think Duquesnoy he's not a guy who has a plan B. He expects to go out there and be able to have his way with his opponent and get them out of there in the same way every single time. And that's just not the case at this level. Like you can't rely on guys just giving you the pathway to victory. You have to make it. And if somebody had said they gave Ware the last 2 rounds and that he should have won the fight, like I'm not gonna disagree with them. Like there's a strong argument for Ware winning this fight.
Yeah, like it was close because you could argue he controlled pretty much most of the fight.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy who was pushing all the action, and Duquesnoy was like kind of playing the outside a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope to see Terrion back. I'm a Terrion fan, so I want to see him back. I believe he could hang around in the UFC. He could be a guy who can put on some fun fights. But boy, his matchmaking has not treated him.
But this is what he was brought in for. He's the prospect tester.
Yeah.
That was his role on the regional scene. That's his role in the UFC.
I hope to see him back. I hope he gets a fourth shot. Like I said, I don't even know how cutting works in the UFC nowadays.
And they cut you when they feel like it.
Right. So we we might realistically see him back. And I mean, it was a good performance from him, so I feel like he's earned the right to run another one back. But as for Dukenwa, gets another win under his belt. I'm pretty sure he'll be in some more violent action soon. But this is a really awesome fight, though. Definitely one to check out if you guys missed. So shout outs to both Dukenwa and Terrion Ware for putting on a great fight. And rounding out the main card, which is only 4 fights, which I greatly appreciated, Leon Edwards and Peter Sabata. What do I have for this fight? There was something in me while I was watching this that, for one, I guess I'll get this point out the way. It was awesome that Edwards won with 4 minutes and 59 seconds into the third round. So he literally won the fight on TKO with 1 second left.
Right.
So, and that happened twice in this card. The other fight we'll get to when we get into the prelims. I don't know if it was because of maybe Sabata's threat with the grappling. I don't know. I guess maybe I was expecting more from Leon than what I got. I don't know if maybe I was too harsh. I mean, he did drop him in the first relatively quickly, and then he almost got his arm snatched off, but he got out of that. He got off some good strikes, but I don't know. I guess I thought I was going to get more. And maybe the fight went to the ground a bit more than I thought, too, because Edwards was going for takedowns. I mean, and he get them. And, I mean, I guess I can't complain because that kind of won him the fight. I mean, he got him down, beat him up, and with a second left, the ref stopped it. I don't know. It's something, I don't know. I guess maybe I expected more out of this fight than what I got. But I don't know if maybe my expectations were too high or I don't know. But I mean, it wasn't like a bad performance from Edwards. I guess I thought I was going to get a bit more than what I got. I don't know. Maybe I'm too high.
No, like, Edwards, his problem has always been volume. Like he is very much a sharpshooter in a division where you really just probably can't be a sharpshooter unless you have like one hit knockout power, which he kind of does, but doesn't really. Like we saw him drop Sabata here, but Sabata recovered like, really quickly, get shot up the armbar attempt. Since losing to what's his name? Was it Usman or was it somebody else?
He did lose.
He did lose to Usman, but I'm trying to think of like when he started changing his game. Okay, it was Usman. Since losing to Usman, he's become much more like wrestling focused. Like he took down Tumanov and submitted him. He turned the fight with Vincent De Luque and Brian Barberena into like grappling matches. This is probably the most we've seen of his striking in a while. Him dropping Sabata, but he's really struggling between trying to find the medium between the two. But instead of fixing the problems he had with his striking, the lack of volume, the way he just kind of folds to pressure too. But he's instead tried to become a better wrestler, a better grappler, and it kind of worked in his favor here, where he was able to get Sabata's back and just beat the crap out of him and get the finish, the buzzer beater finish. But other than that, it's worrying because you look at the top of the division, you're like, who can he beat? Like fighting like this, like he's not going to beat Darren Till in a sharpshooting matchup. He's not going to out wrestle like Colby Covington or like Usman or Tyron Woodley. So his style is working, but I see the wall. He's going to hit a wall real soon.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. Like I watch him and like he's really talented And I guess like based on the talent that I think he has, I feel like he could do a bit more.
And we're saying this after while he's on a 5-fight winning streak.
Right. So, yeah, like I almost feel bad critiquing him because like it's clearly what he's doing is working. Like you're winning, against pretty solid competition, and you're being pretty consistent. Yeah, I guess it's just because I feel like he can do a lot more, and I want to see him. I guess like take like that next step, and I feel like he can do it, and I'm just waiting for
actually do it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for like that breakout moment where like he hits that next level because I feel like he can, but I mean not to criticize the performance. He did what he needed to do to get the win. And like I said, I mean he was working the grappling. It definitely worked in his favor. And he did land some good strikes. Like I said, he was a bit like sharpshooting. I felt like he was just looking for that one big punch. He did land some good shots. And he did seem to, at least I thought, like he fought with like an era or aura, I would say for a better word, like confidence about him. Like he seems pretty confident in what he's doing. So I mean that, we'll see how far that can carry him. But he did have a good performance. I don't want to diminish like what he did. I guess I'm just like I said, I'm waiting for that breakout moment. I feel like he has it in him, and I'm just waiting to see it. But he took Sabata down. He did what he needed to do, and you don't see a lot of buzzer beater finishes like this in the UFC. Even though we got him twice on this card, but still good performance from Edwards. He called out Till in the post fight. Not sure if they'll give him that fight, but I do want to see him against like that next level of competition, just to kind of see, like, kind of gauge where his ceiling is, see where he is in comparison to like the the top guys in this division. But we'll see. So good performance from Edwards. That was pretty much the main card. Oh, I lost the card. Let me go back. So that was the main card. So we will go down to the prelims. Some of these fights ended pretty quick. Charles Byrd, John Phillips. Byrd wasted no time in this fight at all. He immediately shot for a takedown, which he got. Took Phillips down and just kind of proceeded to beat him up. just beat him up. Eventually took Phillips's back, got a rear naked choke, and got on out of there. Yeah, I don't really have much to analyze. The fight it didn't go that long. Byrd just kind of got him out of there. I guess quick note though, I didn't know. So, John Phillips used to go by the White Mike Tyson, which I guess he dropped that moniker. Yeah, and unfortunately for him, he didn't really get to throw his hands at all in this fight. Like he got taken down pretty quick, and that was just kind of the end of that.
Right. Really quick, just like again, it just seems more and more obvious that the contender fight series dudes are just way ahead of the Dana White looking for a fight guys.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I don't see why that should replace the Ultimate Fighter. But hey, I guess you need programming on Fight Pass. So
you need scripted programming. I guess those ads.
But it worked.
Hey.
Where's he from? He's from Dallas.
Something like that. When you let Shelby and Maynard actually scout the guys you're going to go watch, you tend to end up with a little better product.
Yeah, I mean, your debuts don't, because I think this was his debut? It was both of their debuts, I think.
Oh, yeah, because Phillips is like a Cage Warriors guy, I want to say.
Yeah. But debuts don't get much better. You go in, you get the guy, take him down, beat him up, get him out of there. Basically left with no injuries. I don't even think he took like a single hit. So yeah, shout outs to Charles Byrd. Quick victory, quick W. he can go home and enjoy the rest of his day.
Speak up quick.
Oh man, this next fight. Oh, you know what? This isn't the fight I was talking about. But this next fight was pretty vicious. Danny Roberts and Oliver Enkamp. I feel like we were recently talking about Danny Roberts.
I think it was in relation to fucking Mike Perry.
Okay, yeah. I knew we brought him up recently. But Danny Roberts, coming off the loss to Norleen Taleb, this man has come back with a vengeance. Not a ton. I feel like not a ton happened. I thought in this fight much until the end. I mean, in camp, lot of kicks thrown as he's a karate style. He was trying to get off some leg kicks. You could tell in this fight it was only a matter of time before that left hand was going to put things to bed, because he caught Enkamp with a clean left in the first. Closed distance really fast and got that left hand off, and I think they had clinched for a little bit after that. But yeah, he was able to just get in really quick with that left, and just kind of felt like it was only a matter of time before he was gonna be able to just put him to sleep. And my God, in the second round, he lands it like pretty much the exact same left that he landed in the first, and it literally turned Oliver's entire body around. Head hits the floor, eats like one, I think he ate like one, maybe two additional punches, and then the ref kind of stopped, jumped in and stopped the fight. Did you think I saw people saying they thought this was
I don't know. That was appropriate.
Yeah, because anytime you spin around, it wasn't even just a spin. It's like he spun, but when he fell, like his head kind of just like bounced off the canvas. And I feel like if you fall and your head hits the bounce and you're not catching yourself, might be a sign that you're kind of out.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not going to complain about the stoppage. That was a nasty left from Danny Roberts. You can't script a better KO than that. Shout outs to him, man. That was a soul-taking KO. Like, that was a vicious KO from Roberts.
Enkamp is kind of like Gunner if Gunner wasn't like a really amazing athlete, or a great grappler, which Enkamp is not. There's not really a lot to talk about. Like, Enkamp got caught trying to throw one of those teeps to the knee, or side kicks to the knee, I should say. Roberts was having any of that, just blasted him. Shouts to him, by the way. He got number 5 on SportsCenter's top 10 plays.
Hey.
So yeah, a little bit of shine. Yeah, really not a whole lot to talk about. I was kind of hoping Enkamp, like before he debuted in the UFC, would be a little better than he turned out to be so far. I enjoy karate. When karate guys come in, they have success. But it just does not look like he has the game to succeed at this level.
Yeah, he's dropped his first 2.
And they're not the scrubs. Like Noreen Taleb and Danny Roberts are pretty solid welterweights. But like the manner in which he got beat here is just like, that's a stylistic flaw more than anything else.
Yeah, well, I feel like nowadays more people are getting chances even after 2 losses. Like I say, with cuts this days are just so random, so you might get a chance to see him again.
We will, but will they give him a step down in competition, or is he going to be, I don't know, freaking Alex Morano's next opponent?
Right. Somebody else
who's at that mid-tier level.
Yeah. But, yeah, as for Roberts, keep working that left hand. Shout outs to getting on SportsCenter. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, man. Not much else to say. That was just a vicious KO. So shout outs to Danny Roberts. This next fight kind of hurt my feelings. Danny Henry, Hakeem Dawodu. So I was at work in real time when this happened, I was at work during the Roberts in camp fight, and I was like, I think I was like halfway home, and I was like, I should be able to get home in time to at least catch this fight, assuming it goes, maybe like 2 rounds or 3 rounds. I should at least be able to catch like the tail end of this fight. When I got home, I refreshed her dog on my phone because I was watching the play-by-play, and the fight ended in 39 seconds. Dawodu, who came over from World Series of Fighting, had a few good performances over there. So I was really looking forward to seeing what he was going to do in the UFC. I wasn't really familiar with Danny Henry at all, so I didn't really know what to expect from him. And he gave me a right hand that put Dawodu down. Went in for the guillotine for a second because they were scrambling. I thought Dawodu was maybe going to be able to fight the hands off and get his wits back. But man, Danny put the squeeze of death on that guillotine, and it seemed like Hakeem was trying to tap. I thought, and like before he could even tap, he just went to sleep.
Especially like right at the end there.
Yeah, like his hand was in like the motion to tap, and then he just kind of went limp. So yep, I mean nothing to really analyze. Props to Henry, he knocked him down, took his neck, and literally just got him out of there in under a minute.
Yeah, so this is like 2 in a row for Henry in the UFC. He beat Daniel Tamor, David Tamor's little brother, after basically getting the crap beaten out of him in the first round, and then coming back and just beating and dominating the last 2 against Tamor. From what it looked like, Dawodu thought he was going to just counter Henry's right hand with like a left hook. But Danny Henry's a 6-foot featherweight. So that right hand comes in long. And he's like, he is, he's not fast, but he has that pop on his punches. Where like it hurts if he, like it kind of, it's surprising speed, I guess. Yeah, no, there's not a whole shit to analyze. Just like a really good read from Henry. Came in behind the double jab and just exploited Dawodu's. I don't think that's a game plan, but I guess thought process where I'm not going to get this man's timing. I'm just going to counter him immediately and get out of here real quick. So, also really good freaking like follow through with that guillotine because they went down Dawodu tried to like roll out of it like three times before he eventually just got choked out.
Right. Yeah, he was not letting go. He was determined to get him out of there.
That's a grip.
Yeah, that is a grip. So, shout out to Danny Henry. Still looking forward to Dawodu's next fight. But yeah, unfortunately, it did not go his way. This next fight, Paul Craig and Magomed Ankalaev. I'm saying that.
Ankalaev?
Oh.
Ankalaev. I don't know.
That sounds close. Pretty much come back of the card. Another buzzer beater, but this one I think holds a bit more weight than Edwards because Craig was losing pretty much all of this fight. Magomed was taking him down, beating him up. It seemed like Craig just kind of had no way out. Like he was just kind of in there, just trying to just survive and just make it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Like Magomed really was, like I said, just taking him down, beating him up, and then in the third round, in the waning moments, I think. I'm wondering if Magomed knew the fight was about to be over because there was a point, like, right before the finish where it seemed like Craig was definitely, like, trying to control his wrist to get the triangle to go up, and Magomed was just kind of, I don't know if he didn't know what was going on, if maybe he was kind of just chilling because he knew the bell was about to ring, but in that split moment, like, he got the wrist control, got a little bit of space to throw the legs up, and in that quick a second, triangle, literally 1 second left in a fight that he was clearly going to lose. And man, he was getting beat in that third. Like, Magomed clearly won the first two, and then like in the beginning of the third, he came out winging like he was trying to get Craig out of there. Like, so props to Craig, man. Like, like I said, he was losing like 99.9% of this fight, and in the one moment where he got his opportunity, he threw up the triangle, and he got the W. And I think he avoided a skid because he had lost. Was he 2 straight before this?
2 straight.
Yep, 2 straight. He lost to Roundtree and
Right.
Pedro. So he avoids a 3-fight skid and avoids it by being an opportunist. The fight isn't over until it's over. And he it sucks for Magomed because like he put on this good performance for the majority of the fight, and then you have this one lapse, and you get choked
That's the
out.
fight game,
But,
bro.
Yep.
I will say, I was super impressed with Ankalaev. I've been putting together like a 205 list of guys like who the UFC should sign because their division sucks, and like most of them are guys. Some of them are guys that he's beaten, like pretty one-sidedly too. Like when I first watched this fight, I didn't know how tall Ankalaev is. He's 6'2", because standing next to Pro Craig, he looked like a middleweight in terms of like height. Because Paul Craig is like 6'4", which I did not know. But the one thing I want to point out that I can add to this is that at some point in the second round, Ankalaev was on on 2 knees, and I think Craig was either sprawled out or like going for God knows what. But Ankalaev manages to get both his hands together below Craig's ass, and proceeds to lift him up above his head on 2 knees and take him down. And I'm like, at this point, I knew he had, because I watched this like you. I was at work while this was happening live, so I watched this I watched this later, so I knew he lost. I'm like, how did this man lose this fight? But no, like you said, a great heart shown by Craig in the awareness to realize that the fight. It doesn't matter if there's only 2 seconds left in the fight. The fight's not over till it's over. Sucks for Ankalaev because he looks like a good heavyweight prospect, and like a win here would have been good for him and probably for the division overall. But I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it sucks because this would have made him 10-0 had he just not gotten choked out. But
yeah,
I mean, at 205, yeah, he'll have another chance to come in and probably slam another dude to a
right.
But yeah, great on Craig, man. It's not over till it's over. That's the moral of the story. So shout outs to Craig. Yeah, great heart, just really gutsy win. All right, these next 2 fights, I watched them. Unfortunately, I don't remember them all that well.
I don't remember. I watched like the first round of the KG Johnson fight. I'm going to assume we just went the way I think it went for the rest of the fight because I stopped it. So I'm not wasting my time with this.
So I'll just give the bits and pieces that I remember. Johnson and Stephen Ray. The first round I don't think was not a ton really went on. Both of them seemed to just have a really kick-heavy game, but not a ton I remember going on in the first. In the second round, Kajan caught him with, I want to say, a right, and he stunned him. He got him up against the cage. I don't remember much. I think he stunned him in the second. Ray came back in the third, had a pretty good third round. But yeah, I don't remember like the details much of this fight. It was really close. Probably could have made an argument for either. Kajan ended up getting a split decision, and then he, in his post-fight interview, told the crowd they should be ashamed of themselves for booing. Told them they should be ashamed of themselves. You know, they're martial artists and they're putting their bodies on the line, and you guys suck for booing, pretty much.
What a track star thing to say.
But, like, I remember, like, it wasn't a bad fight, wasn't a great fight, but it was really competitive. Like I said, it was back and forth. It was pretty close. Probably could have went either way, but Kajan edged it out. So I mean, yeah, fortunately I don't remember much of the fight in detail, but shout outs to both of those gentlemen. And the last fight, which we will cover, Dmitry Sosnovsky and Mark Godbear. Fortunately, I don't remember much of this fight either. Just remember Dmitry choking him out. That's all I got.
It's really weird because like Sosnovsky was one of the dudes I was big on 2 years ago. So you know, divisions changed a little bit since then. Came back, got he got like 2 takedowns off of like lateral drops, but like Godbeer was able to reverse him and out grapple him for like significant portions of the fight. There was at one point where Sosnovsky went for like a scarf hold from like side control, like he gets off of Godbeer's hips and kind of just jumps for a scarf hold, which is where you go. Like if you're on your right side of the person that you're on top of in side control, if you were to just like take your left hand and try to go underneath their head and grab their arm and like come up that way, so basically like it's like you're giving up your back. And like you see it from like Judica, like Ronda Rousey did it. Alexei Oleinik has a submission in the UFC by scarf hold, I believe. But like here, he jumps from side control, like jumps at his head to grab it, and Godbeer just reverses and takes his back. It's the most funniest thing I've ever seen. But no, he eventually gets right and gets the rear naked choke, and
such is life.
That's just life. I don't know why. If maybe it was just a big cage, but like he looks small for his division too. Sosnovsky. I don't know why. He's 6'3". He shouldn't look small.
He seemed pretty thick though, at least from what I remember. Right. Yeah, probably like just one of those really dense, guys. But yeah, that was the card. It went by pretty fast. Like, I mean, even though, like I said, in real time I missed most of the prelims, so I didn't get in the house until like around, I think, the Roberts fight. But yeah, man, like the card went by pretty fast. I feel like we say this in a lot of cards. For lack of star power and names, it was still pretty entertaining.
The UFC doesn't have any stars. Let's be real.
But you know, I was pretty entertained throughout the card. The fights that I was looking forward to, pretty much like all delivered. You know, the main event was, you know, it was a heavyweight fight, but hey man, Volkov won, so I was pretty happy. Yeah, I thought this card delivered, man. I got a nice dose of violence for my Saturday evening, so I don't really have any complaints.
This card was good because one, it was a Fight Pass card that came on at 2:00 in the afternoon, and we all got to like do whatever after 7:30.
Right.
And two, we had a week off, and it wasn't part of the 30-week barrage that was the beginning of this year, where there's just a card after 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 a card.
Right. We got a chance to breathe.
It's amazing what a little breathing room would have done, because like if this had come on last week after what was the last? I don't remember the last card before. It's 222.
Oh yeah, I'd have been through with it.
Yeah, like I would not. I'd be not as up on it as I am.
Yeah. So yeah, as much as I complain about the break, I love watching fights. They're much needed. They are much needed fights. I mean, much needed
Right.
breaks.
And we got one coming up.
Oh yeah,
So,
we're getting closer. We are getting closer.
2 weeks.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
I might.
This is gonna be.
I don't know if I'm gonna go because it's right there in Brooklyn, 223. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if the price of tickets goes down a little bit, and then I might be going. So
They'll be getting my money this card. I'm dropping the 60 on this. You guys don't get it often. This will be the time. this will definitely be the time. And praying to God that Habib or either one of them doesn't slip or fall down a set of stairs or something before this fight happens.
Or kick one of those damn pipes too freaking hard and bust his leg open.
Right. So, yeah, Tony Ferguson out here doing anime training. But yeah, man, Habib and Tony, April 7th. It's not that far away, man. We're almost there. Like when they showed the promo, oh man, I was so ready.
This is the best fight the UFC can make, people.
Yeah.
So
this is like, I feel like this, like Habib and Tony, and then fights like Holloway and Ortega, like these fights of that caliber don't come around that often. Like these are must see. You know, we're not gonna get another Habib and Tony, like a fight of this much talent and magnitude. Like we're not gonna see another one of these for a long time. So you have to watch this. Like if you're a fight fan, you need to be in front of a screen when this is on. You have no excuse to miss this fight. So yeah, that's coming up April 7th. We're actually not doing terribly bad on time, so I guess I was gonna ask you real quick because I know you watched it. How was all the wrestling from last night? I saw you and Stokes going back and forth. I wasn't watching, so I had no idea what anybody was talking about.
Stokes is a Penn State hater. I spent 2 years at Penn State. It was awesome. Right when like David Taylor and Ed Ruth and all those guys were like really taking over with the wrestling. So Penn State ended up winning the national team championship over Ohio State. Ohio State, of course, being the home of one Kyle Snyder, Olympic gold medalist, 2-time world champion, and now 3-time NCAA heavyweight champion. So shouts to him. As for wrestling, it was amazing. Every year, it's always a ton of fun. I imagine this is what other people feel like watching the bowl game, like the bowl games.
Probably, yeah, I can see that.
Shouts to Bo Nickel, who, after getting taken down, just hit a reversal for 2 and then got the pinfall. Well, like, I'm not like Stokes knows more about wrestling than I do, but the freaking I don't even know what it was that like where he just turns him over and gets the pin with his arm wrapped around his head. It's like next level stuff. Shouts to Nick Soriano. He ended up losing. Spencer Lee beat him on points, but like runner up, not bad. I say shouts out to him because one, he's from Rutgers and he's from Jersey. We actually went to the same high school. So shouts to him. Shouts to Zane Rutherford, the other dude besides Kyle Snyder, who became a 3-time champion, one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers of all time. Joins Ed Ruth as only the second dude from Penn State to ever win 3 national titles. Well, who else? There was a lot of repeats last night. Like, oh god, I'm shit with names. Vincenzo Joseph, who beat the number one dude in the country, Isaiah Martinez, to get his championship, to win his second, I think. Zahid Valencia, who became the first Arizona State University champion since 2011. So I expect to see him in like the UFC or Bellator in like 8 years, because that's how these things go. Like, I mean, he has to have like Cain Velasquez and Ryan Bader in his ear, right?
Oh, Cain Velasquez. Hope he's up walking somewhere.
Jason Nolf took his second title, so yeah, it was good times. It was great times.
I gotta get more into
I mean, even if you just watch like the finals every year, like you'll enjoy yourself. It's a good time.
Yeah, I think the only part I saw a snippet of one of Snyder's matches. I watched last night. Yeah, like it always looks fun. I don't understand the rule set, but it just looks fun. It probably would be one of those sports where I wouldn't know what's going on, but I'd watch it just.
Wrestling's weird because like I have this idea of how like grappling is supposed to look from jiu-jitsu. Like I started jiu-jitsu before I even just by going to a wrestling high school before I even saw my first wrestling match. So like when I see guys like give up their back because they're able to so they can like spin around for two or whatever, or like grab around the waist and just like wrench a guy over and get 2 points for that. It's still a little jarring, but like, it's just fun. It's a lot more action oriented than I guess jiu-jitsu is in terms of pace.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. Twitter seemed to have all the highlights. Actually, no, it came on ESPN.
Yeah, it was on ESPN too last night.
Okay, yeah, I probably can just rewatch it on there. So yeah, shout out to that. Yeah, it seemed like a pretty like big deal. Like everybody I saw who was tweeting about it was just like going off every match.
Yeah, like Snyder, for example. Snyder, dude is 220 something pounds. Dude he went up against was like 283 pounds. Yeah, no.
So did their heavyweight not have
It's 285 pounds.
Oh, okay. All right. Jeez, that's
yeah. Well, Snyder doesn't wrestle at heavyweight in the because he's an international wrestler too. Like I said, he's a gold medalist from 2016. He won the world championship last year. But like he doesn't really his weight class doesn't exist in the NCAA, so he just wrestles a heavyweight. So like every year he's going up against these like 288-pound behemoths. Like last year, Nick something. He lifts this 270, 260-pound dude above his head before putting him down. Like, dude, like, God, I want to be like Kyle Snyder when I grow up. Like, I know I'm like 3 years older than him, but like, come on.
So was somebody from Bellator in the crowd? They always try to get wrestlers, or have they just give it up?
I'm trying to think. There are probably some dudes that can sign. Like, there are a whole bunch of All-Americans from Ohio State. Any of these dudes who aren't going to try out for the Olympics are probably on their radar.
Yeah. Go on there, Bellator. Throw some gloves at somebody.
Isaiah Martinez, who is a senior, he is actually from the area in California where they have Tachi Palace fights. He's connected with all those dudes, so like, he might be a dude we see eventually. Wrestles at 165 pounds, so I assume he'd be a welterweight.
There we go. Bellator, we're giving you guys free scouting reports.
Yeah, man, Coker's a California dude. I'm sure he knows Martinez.
Oh. That is, I want to see them sign one new person worth getting excited over, like sometime soon. But
I feel like they just signed somebody. I was really excited. They just signed the Bama champions. The featherweight and the lightweight one. I can't remember their names, but they signed them.
Was Pimblett one of them?
No, Pimlet's in Cage Warriors.
Oh, okay. Oh, got more mixed up. All right, at least they're out there doing something then. That's worth it.
Bama partnership paying off.
Oh, and I just saw a quick note about Volkov. I guess at the press conference he did say he wants a title shot next.
I mean, don't we all?
Right. There's that. God, I feel like there's something else I wanted to mention briefly, and I cannot remember what it was. Um, uh, and it wasn't the Floyd MMA thing, 'cause I don't really care about that. We didn't even mention that, did we? I don't think so.
No.
But yeah, and for anybody who cares, Floyd apparently trained in MMA. According to his bodyguards or something, his wrestling's a 7 out of 10, or whatever that
Why would his
means.
bodyguard know?
I have no idea.
His bodyguard can't see his own feet. How am I supposed to know what his opinion on wrestling means?
But yeah, apparently that's the thing. He said he's gonna train for like 6 months or something like that. I don't know, whatever. God, I'm definitely forgetting something. There's something, I don't think it was even crazy important, but I wanted to mention it, and I can't remember what it is.
Was it the dude who tried to argue with Shayna Baszler on Twitter about like whether or not a Kimura could break your arm?
No.
That's a thing that happened.
No, I think I missed that one. I did see her arguing with somebody, but it wasn't about the Kimura. At least I think it was Baszler. Because somebody on Twitter was talking about like the relationship between like wrestling and MMA.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's like fucking Jonathan Snowden or something.
Yeah.
So I saw
that
fan, by the way, but Jonathan Snowden, he's the lead editor or something for or lead reporter for Bleacher MMA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all that. No, my old man memory's failing me. I don't remember what it is I wanted to mention, so whoever it was, I apologize. I don't think it was even anything crazy.
What was it? Your hometown team? Was it UMBC or whatever?
Oh, that's gonna be the shout out. We're definitely gonna get there. that was a big deal. That was a very big deal here. A lot of happy faces at work. None of us. Anybody who saw that coming is lying. None. Well, except for the one, was it a senator? Somebody here, some political dude put out a bracket. He picked it, but he probably just picked it just because of hometown bias. But I guess you got to give him the credit anyway because he got it right. But I thought there was another thing. It is what it is. So yeah, that was UFC Fight Night 127. In 2 weeks' time, Khabib versus Tony's going down. Joey, if you're listening, we're getting you on for that one. So clear your schedule. Whatever you're doing that Sunday isn't important.
It really isn't.
So yeah. So get your microphone ready. We're definitely all talking about that. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So as always, before we close out, parting shots and shout outs. So yeah, as you just mentioned, my shout out is going to the Retrievers of UMBC. For people who don't know, that is University of Maryland, Baltimore County, which is about 35 minutes away from me, something like that. But anywho, if you've been living under a rock, or maybe you just don't watch basketball, which some of us don't, but March Madness, college basketball has been going down this month. It has been a wild tournament. I've been in my feelings a couple of these games. Shout out to my Longhorns who lost to Nevada in a heartbreaker. But yeah, man, this tournament's been crazy. A lot of good games, a lot of close games, a lot of classic moments, which I argue this all the time. I think, in my opinion, in terms of sports, not combat sports, but in terms of sports like basketball, football, hockey, whatever. I believe March Madness, in my opinion, is the hardest tournament to win. It's because these upsets just seem to come out of nowhere. And you never know what school that you never heard of might come out of nowhere and give you the blues. And in that case, really a few schools found that out, but one in particular, UMBC, number 16 seed, beat the brakes off of not just the number 1 seed in the bracket, but this was the overall number 1 team in the country. UMBC Retrievers got the University of Virginia Cavaliers out of here and a 74-54 blowout win in the first round of the tournament. This is the first time in men's history, and I need to emphasize this because, fun fact, I don't think people know. Because a lot of people are saying this is the first time ever that a 16 seed has beat a number 1 seed. That is, in fact, not true. It's the first time in men's basketball that has happened, but I guess in the light of Women's History Month, we have to give them credit because they did this like 20 years ago. The University of Women's Harvard team beat Stanford, and Harvard was a 16 seed, Stanford was a 1. So this is the first time, at least in men's history, that it has happened. But shout outs to the hometown team. Did not see this W coming. I was pretty sure Virginia was going to run UMBC out the stadium. But it was the opposite. And so now UMBC plays Kansas State actually today. They play later on this evening at 7:45. So by the time you guys hear this podcast, it'll already been done and passed. But yeah, man, that was a big win for UMBC. Really good look for that school. That's awesome. Like, and regardless of what happens to them for the rest of the tournament, whether they play Kansas State and get smoked by 40 or 30 points, like, you guys are in history books. That's a huge win for anybody who was like a part of that win, from the coaches to the training staff. Like, that's something you can hold on to like for the rest of your life. Like, that's a memory that like nobody can take that from you. And shout outs to whoever runs the UMBC Twitter page, because they have been going off these last 2 days, and it has been fun to watch people getting arguments with them. But yeah, man, shout outs to UMBC, man. That's a good look. That's an awesome win. I wish I would have stayed up and watched that game, but I'm old. By the time that game came on, I was like just going to sleep. I woke up and saw it on my phone, but yeah, that was awesome. Once again, shout outs to my homie Scott Noble. As I mentioned earlier, if you're in Atlantic City, March 24th, CFFC. Oh God, I clicked off the banner. He has a fight March 24th in Atlantic City at the Borgata Hotel and Spa. So shout out to Scott Noble. Best of luck. Go in there, do work, get on World Star again for kicking somebody in the head. And got you on the 20. I'm definitely buying your shirt. I have not forgotten about you. And nerd shout out to all my Dragon Ball Super fans.
It's ending soon, right?
That last episode.
It's ending soon, right?
Yeah, next week, last episode. But my God, the episode from last night, man. Whew. I'm kind of different because I know everybody else, you guys have been watching this since the beginning. I'm one of those guys who had to play catch up because I didn't start watching until about a month ago. So within a month, I watched 130 episodes now. This tournament has been like the best thing in like Dragon Ball history. It's been so epic. And last night was just a continuation. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, if you're like me and you waited a while to watch Dragon Ball Super, I'm telling you right now, you gotta just get into it, man. Like, the first 2 arcs, if you've watched Resurrection F and Battle of the Gods, if you watch the movies, then technically you can skip like the first 39 episodes. But man, yeah, this show's been fire. It's been awesome, and really looking forward to see how they're gonna end this, because the last episode definitely threw a nice curveball at the end that I'm pretty sure none of us saw coming. But yeah, it's been awesome. So shout outs to my Dragon Ball Super fans. And yeah, I think that's all I got.
Did you hear that fans in Mexico had like the episode spoiled for them because they did a news episode on like on a leak?
What? That's great. That is so not right.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
My friend shared this with me, but shout outs to this I don't even know what to call them. Like, I guess they're not like only a YouTube channel, but shout out to this web series, Afrolit, where they just have it's basically a series of like African artists, authors, writers, talking about just like books and by black authors. Like the first episode's poet Asachawa reading explaining her feelings on Tar Baby by Toni Morrison. So, if that's up your alley if you're like a literature person, definitely give it a look. And I was gonna shout out to like all the NCAA people, but we talked about them, and I was expressed how jazzed I was for them. So instead, shout to Rhyme Fest. I don't know where you are, I don't know what you're doing, but shouts to you. You should have blown up.
Did you go back and listen to something recently?
I've had this on this. I have a bunch of notes for just random shit to talk about in this podcast. And Rhyme Fest is currently number one. Rappers who should have blew up. Rhyme Fest.
Oh man. No, Rhyme Fest is dope though. Actually, I have his first two. I have El Che. What was his first project? The one that had the Dynamite song.
Blue Collar.
Yeah, I have Blue Collar too. Yeah, like they're both really good albums. Yeah, he kind of doesn't.
And he wrote
Jesus Walks.
He wrote Jesus Walks in like the first 4 Kanye albums. So.
Yeah. So yeah, shout outs to Rhyme Fest.
I also have Cameron's album "Come Home with Me," and it just says "Come Home with Me" title. I think it was just confused because "Come Home with Me" sounds like he's begging. And that doesn't feel like Cameron.
I don't know. I feel like in his case, it's not a beg. It's more of a.
Is it a demand? Is there a request?
I feel like it's one of those things where you're asking, but you're not really asking. It's kind of implied that like I'm gonna ask you this just to go through the formality, but you know what the business is.
I don't know why, but the cover just looks like. I think it has something to do with the cover because the cover is just him and his son, and it looks kind of sad. It's just like, come home with me.
I don't know. Rappers in your artwork.
Cameron's a weird dude.
I was thinking the other day, who's gonna be the first rapper to have an iced out Infinity Gauntlet? It's gotta happen. Somebody's making it real.
One of these Instagram rappers. Like, you're gonna see what's his face. Oh, do you know who Lil Xan is?
Unfortunately.
Did you see the story about him getting harassed by teenagers at like his local Del Taco? And he had to call the cops to come and like bring him to his car so he could go home.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I did not see
So
that.
apparently he was in his hometown, and he was at Del Taco where these girls were supposed to fight from like the local high school, and these high school kids saw him, and I guess they took offense to what he said about Tupac, and they started harassing him. So he ran to the YMCA, where he called the cops to have them escort him to his car.
Oh boy.
What era of hip hop fuckery are we in?
That's a whole nother podcast. That is. Woo.
Then you got whatever his name is, 69, beefing with the game.
You don't want that smoke, bro.
It's just gonna be the game showing up at like Takeshi's hotel with like all his boys, and he's gonna beat him up with one hand while he records on the other one, like he did with what's his face.
Right.
40.
Yeah.
In all fairness to 40 Glock, apparently all his boys had guns pulled on him.
Yeah, like he was in a lose.
It's like you either take the ass whooping or you try to defend yourself and you get shot.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm just looking at the thing because like I saw the news on like Hip Hop Heads on like Reddit, and it says little Xan escapes angry Tupac fans with help from police. But they put a little tag on that says escapes high schoolers.
Oh boy, hip hop. It's been
How did we get here?
Yeah, man. But I mean, to be a slight optimist, I feel like within this last like month, there's been a lot of dope albums that have come out. And I guess with that saying, quick plug, I do have album reviews I'm working on. Every time I work on an album review, another album comes out, and then I stop what I'm reviewing and listen to something new. And I need to get myself out of the habit
See,
of
this is
doing
what
that.
happens when everybody can drop an album, whatever. We need
Yeah.
Diddy to come and be like, no, your album didn't sell last time, so you have to wait.
Right. But the thing is, like, I almost can't complain because, like, the albums I've been listening to have all been good. Like, Jericho Jackson, Black Milk, the Fonte album that just came out, I've been listening to. Murs put out an album yesterday.
So what you're telling me is we can expect that Little Boat 2 review this week?
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. I'm glad you just. Well, it's not Lil Boat though. that just triggered me though. So you I think it's you because you said Joey was the one who mentioned that I reviewed the Macho Man album,
Yes.
right? All right, so I don't know what Joey put in the universe, but this album keeps finding its way back to me. So because the other day, shout out to my homie Davon, I was talking to him on the phone, and he was like, "Yeah, you do album reviews on your podcast, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, you should probably review that Macho Man album." I was like, "What? Like, where did you get that from? Like, like, what in the universe is put that in your head that I need to review this album?"
Does he listen?
He does.
There you
He does.
go.
So.
If you guys know Serial Sensei in real life, gift him Macho Man album.
Actually, hold on. Before we sign off, I'm pretty sure, is this on Spotify? Let me check my Spotify
It
real
is
quick.
because I was listening to it on Spotify.
Oh, God. All right. So.
Be a man. Review the album.
All right, people. So I'm gonna say this live. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. So I'm wrapping up my next episode. I've been taking notes all week. So I'm reviewing sometime this week. Fonte's No News is Good News, Black Milk's Fever, and the Jericho Jackson album with Elzai and Crisis. That'll be the next episode of reviews that's coming. And then I also have a recommendation that I still need to figure out. But I guess after that, Macho Man is gonna have to find his way into the schedule.
Yes.
This
This is gonna be your most watched review ever. I promise you.
It probably will. It probably will. Macho Man and I don't know. Is John Cena? Is he on Spotify?
Yes.
He,
I'll say it.
Lord.
I mean, what's his face helped him with that one though?
Oh yeah, you told me it was somebody. Was it Esoteric?
Or was it Idea? No, it was Esoteric because he's on the album.
Okay.
Bean
All
Town.
right. Jesus Christ, this John Cena album is 17.
Yes, it is.
So I guess after I get these 3 reviews I got working on now out the way. All right, at least Macho Man's only 14. I can do that. Macho Man, John Cena, it's going down.
Yes.
I don't know when, but it's probably gonna happen real soon. I might do it real soon because I gotta get it out the way.
Did you hear that? John Cena for I can't remember for one of the recent WWE games did another song or two, and Wiz Khalifa was on it.
Oh no.
And John Cena outrapped Wiz Khalifa. I'm gonna put that out there. He came with the harder bars.
Oh man. All right, so that's yeah, you guys can look forward to that.
Yeah.
A Macho Man and a John Cena review will definitely they're coming. I don't know when, but they'll be here.
Yay! It's like Christmas in March.
Right. And I promise I'm gonna try to be as thorough with these reviews as I can. Like I'm gonna have to really. I listen to albums at work.
I'm
I don't want anybody to catch me on my phone.
Just be like they wouldn't leave me alone so I review this album.
And Macho Man is gonna be on my screen. Oh God.
John Cena bar. I'm not from Shy City, but I'm common on the corner.
Oh.
Yes. So since John Cena actually has an album out, does that make him a better rapper than Jay Electronica?
Oh. Jay, where are you at, man? Where the world has been passing you by.
It's not like he's not touring, because he performs like every once in a while. He's not married. He's not married. He's not with that like rich girl anymore. So I don't know what he does for money.
I don't know. Maybe the touring life is just. I don't know. Everybody loves Exhibit C.
He just performs Exhibit C like 30 times a night.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I could see Exhibit C with like a live band for that instrumental, I'd watch that. It's a great song. But Lord, yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage, John Cena album reviews. I should drop those on April Fools. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, that's bullshit.
Easter.
This coming.
Why would you do that to Jesus?
We'll see.
On his day of resurrection.
He created these beans.
Macho Man Randy Savage has always existed. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He was the big bad.
Exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, so to all the listeners out there, you got that to look forward to. So, as always, this podcast can be listened to on SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes. If you're on iTunes, please rate, subscribe, and most importantly, leave a review. Please send questions to dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. I'm anticipating your questions, guys. I'm really serious. I'd appreciate it if you guys send some questions. We can have some fan interaction. And you can follow me on Twitter @SerialSensei. And you can also find us on Facebook at the Dojo Talk Podcast Facebook page. And that is it for today's episode. So as always, anytime people are being punched and or kicked in the face, we will be there to talk about it. And hopefully we catch you guys soon. Peace.